to the candy shop.
I taste just like candy.
Facebook Live. I'm now on Facebook Live. Those of you who are listening on your smart device in the TuneIn app or in the garden on Armed Radio Global, welcome, 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 welcome. We're waiting for some new people to come in tonight. I have a very, very special guest who I'm going to introduce to you in a second. Those of you who are watching us live can see her in all of her beautiful glory. And the rest of you who are listening in, listen, I love that you're on the TuneIn app. I love that you're in the garden. But don't forget to not only join the Facebook group, Armed Radio Group News, and the Creative Love Collective, which is my group. And while you're listening to the show, you can call in and you can ask us questions and talk to us. The number is 1-800-508-5431. And if you come on live, you can comment question live on Facebook. Now, who am I? I am Candace Harper, lovecoach.com. And this is Ask for Candy. And my talent is conversation. And my passion is personal growth. And my purpose is to teach and inspire radical self-acceptance in myself and others so that we can all have our best possible love life. And with me today is my friend, my sister in transformation, Miss Toni Wiggins-Sorzano. She is an accessories, because it goes with Sorzano. She is an accessories and jewelry designer. She is a lifestyle blogger. She is a sexy city mom. She is a single lady who's fabulous and just an all-around entrepreneurial, fabulous woman.
Yes. Hey guys, how are you? I am so pleased to be here today.
Yay! Tell us a little bit about yourself, Toni. Tell us about some likes and dislikes and some things you want to say about you.
I mean, pretty simple girl. Yeah. I am 41.
Yes, honey.
Lady.
Yes, and fabulous.
Yes, I am a mother of two girls,
yes.
14 and 8. It gets kind of hazy after a while. But yeah, I'm 14 and 8.
And beautiful.
Yes.
I've seen them.
Thank you. I'm just a regular single working mom. I work full time. I also have my own little stuff that I do on the side. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not really too much. I guess as the show goes.
Yes.
And you get a little bit of better idea of who I am as a person.
Some personal stuff.
Yes.
Right. We're gonna get in. We're gonna delve deep. We're going to delve deep with Toni. We're going to delve deep with myself. And then all of our friends who are coming on Facebook Live. I see Matt. I see Brandon. I see Timmy. I see Rebecca. What's up, everybody? Let me see. And you know what else? We are also, because of Toni's ingenuity and her tech savviness, we are also on Instagram tonight. I feel so special. Now we're doing the Instagram Live. I feel so like... forward and technical, and like I actually know what I'm doing with this stuff. You got me on the gram, honey.
I mean, yes. Gotta get you out there to a wider audience.
Right?
Yes.
Like more social media.
Yes.
Social media. So those of you who normally listen in, but those of you who are new, what this show is about. Each week we have lively conversations about different topics relating to love and relationships. Sometimes special guests like my friend Toni. We do games or activities, and always we get a chance to laugh, to cry, or just learn something new. And that is why this is a conversation, right?
Yes.
We're not here to like hand down the rights or the wrongs or to shame anybody for what they're doing. Our only intention is to create audacious intimacy, seductive singlehood, and healthy relationships, right?
Good to me.
Amen, honey. Let's do this. Now we got even more people came. I got Jose, I got Shayla, I got Larry. Ez has joined. Hi, my love. I haven't seen you in such a long time. All my favorite people. And now see here, my friend Andy Jones just joined on Facebook Live.
Hey, girl.
Right, on the low, I'm about to give her governments because her real name is Jasmine. But she's hiding out.
I know she laughing.
Hi, honey. She's hiding out on the Facebook Live. Anyway, so I have a list of questions for you, Miss Toni.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing that I love so much about, we have a caller already. Somebody's already calling in. Hold on. Hello, welcome to Ask for Candy. Hello.
Oh, they having some technical
Oh, that's technical. Well, there you go. So much for that, caller. Johnny. Call us 1-800-508-5431. If that was you just trying to call, try again because you might get us. Hopefully you have a good question. Hopefully you're not just calling just to make commentary. We haven't even gotten started yet. We haven't even gotten into like the meat of things. Let us get there. I promise. You'll be able to call in and participate. What's up? Angela just joined. Hey, girl. Okay, so I have this list of questions, which Toni and I have decided not to discuss beforehand because we want all of it to be very fresh.
Nice.
Right? The whole theme of the show tonight is crazy dating stories and sort of, we're women who have been through some things.
Lived,
had our fabulous 40s. We've had our relationships and things like that. We've had our experiences. And, on our show, we talk. We share. We're very candid about where we've been and what we've been through. Oh, look, there's people on the Instagram Live, too.
Yes, my friend D.
Hey, D. What's up, honey? So, these more questions I compiled were really just to kind of give us conversation pieces, something to kind of play around with a little bit. And I want to know, I have this thing that everybody has a relationship theme, right? So at any given point in your life, whether you're in a relationship or not, you kind of have you could be in a relationship and it's you haven't had sex in how many years, and the theme of your relationship or the theme of your love life is committed but boring. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
So what would you say right now is your relationship theme, and how do you feel like you sort of got on the trajectory of, oh, wait, hold on, we got a caller. Hold on, let's see. What's up, caller? Hello, caller, it's Ask for Candy. Hello?
I have a question.
Okay, great.
Wow.
What's your name, caller?
Justin.
Justin. Hi, Justin.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
I have found in my dating experience that women really don't like nice guys.
Oh.
They want somebody who has some kind of a strange edge to them. But they get a sense that you're too nice or you're a nice guy, they lose interest in you almost instantly. Do you think that's true?
That's actually a really great question. I love that question, Justin. And Toni, are you coming up because I know exactly what comes up for me with this question. You give Justin your answer, and then I'll give Justin my answer.
Okay. All right. Hey, Justin, how you doing? It's
good.
Okay. From my point of view, I don't think that it's that nice guys, women are not attracted to nice guys, but there has to be an attraction there from the jump street. So if it's no type of attraction, then regardless if you're nice, if you're nasty, she's not going to want to be interested in you. It doesn't have anything I hate people say, oh, nice guys finish last. That's not true. And sometimes too, if you are a really sweet guy, and if a woman, sometimes if she's not used to that type of person, that might be, she might shy away from that. Or if she isn't used to that type of person or has experience with that, that might be something that'll help her along and pull her in. Because I know for me, I like nice guys. I don't want to curse up here. Say it like I have a potty mouth. But I don't really like assholes. You know what I'm saying? You want a guy that's going to treat you nice, that's going to swoon you if they're really interested in you, that's going to treat you like a woman. We, some, not all, but some women, we like to be treated nicely and made to feel special. So, if you are going after people and you're a nice guy and they're not pretty much taking a liking to you, it has nothing to do with you being nice. It's just that maybe that vibe isn't there.
I think that part of that is true, but it takes time to find out if someone is an asshole.
You're absolutely right.
It takes time to find out.
Now,
in the meantime, if you don't present some sort of an edge or something that can trip you up, there is a disinterest I have found that seems to occur pretty quickly if you don't have something like that comes up pretty quickly. I don't like playing games. I don't have time playing games. I'm a much too older guy for that. I'm in my mid-30s. I really don't have time for that. So I try to present who I am pretty quickly without any of the game-ish stuff, because I hate the game stuff. But I do find that in doing so, the interest level, and by the way, I'm not a bad-looking guy. You know,
We believe you, Justin.
I'm not a jerk. I'm not a guy who has this incredible edge. But I do think that if you don't have the edge, there is something that women don't like and think is lacking, and they move on. And I find it very frustrating.
Justin, let me ask you a question. The type of women that you usually are attracted to, are they, how would you describe them?
It's an odd thing, but I like women with children.
Okay.
I think women with children have been through a level of maturity that single men have not been through, and men who don't have children have been through. So when I find out that someone has children, it usually piques my interest because I know that they have reached a certain level of maturity, because otherwise they couldn't do what they do.
Well,
I also like women who also are pretty forthcoming quickly.
yeah.
I don't like the holding back. I don't like game playing. So in my regard, I think there's any game playing going on, I pretty much will move on right away because I don't like wasting time.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I would say, and I get what you're saying. I do think that a woman who's had children, she definitely has had some experiences that may or may not have caused her to mature. That's the thing. Just because someone has a child doesn't mean that they're necessarily emotionally mature for a relationship. But also, I do think that there is a difference in where women are in the stages of well. Like Toni said, if she doesn't know what to do with that or how to deal with that, she's in a stage in her life where, not only does she not necessarily recognize what kindness is, but, she might be going through a bad boy stage in her life, which is an immature emotional stage that a lot of women, myself included,
We've all been there.
Have been through. Yeah. There was a time in my life, a lot younger and maybe even not so much younger, where I didn't necessarily recognize kindness or, what I thought love was, right. Something that I was used to, which is something I had to work for or chase after or, be something for. And so what I would say is it's not about, try to have an edge that's not authentic to you, unless that's authentic for you. Be who you are. You have to stay authentic, because then that's the only way to attract somebody who loves who you are. You get what I'm saying? Like, it might feel like you're meeting woman after woman who rejects a nice guy, but if she's rejecting a nice guy, then she's not in the right stage or the right mindset for you anyway.
And you have to go through a couple. It's
right.
Dating. It's not, you don't just go out there and maybe meet one or two people and then, oh my God, you find your love match. No, dating, you have to go through a couple of people in order to get some decency out there. It takes time and it takes patience. We are very impatient people. We want things instantly, but it doesn't happen that way, because when you get things instantly, a lot of the time is when you hurt yourself, because then you find out the not so nice things later on down the line, and then by then you kind of are invested. And so you just have to take your time and date a couple of people, and eventually you'll get it.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Do you find that you limit yourself only to your race?
Are you asking us personally?
Yes. I am, yes.
I have to say, I used to say, Justin, back in college, that I was like Benetton, because I did date the rainbow.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. I like probably and the guy that I was with probably the longest in my entire love life career, I was with him for over a decade, and he was from Afghanistan. Like I'm the type of person that I really am about connection. Probably as I'm older, I probably date more within my race, but it's not a conscious, I will only go out with black men kind of thing. Are you asking us personally because you want to ask one of us out?
No.
Because you're too young for us, Justin.
You never know. I'm a brother too.
Are you? Okay.
You never know.
What about you, Toni?
I'm just curious.
For me, honestly, I do like to stay within my race. That's just a personal preference to me. It's not anything that I'm just looking like, it's for me. I just prefer to stay. And I prefer to stay in my race. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but
we all have our thing. We all
listen,
right?
I don't know, but if you don't find what you're looking for, Sometimes you gotta open
Like
the door.
spread out.
But you know what? It's funny because one of my friends did say that to me. She told me, she said, well, girl, maybe you need to date outside your race. She was like, because it's not working for you. And I just was like, I'm not ready to give up yet. I'm still trying to, hold on a little bit. Maybe in a couple of years, if I don't find what I'm looking for, then maybe, who knows? But as of right now, I'm just.
Well, I thank you both for your time.
Oh, thank you for calling in,
Awesome.
Justin. You're my, like, for Ask for Candy, the show, you're the first, like, real official caller who had, like, official questions. I feel like I want to send you a t-shirt or something.
You're doing a good job. I think you're doing a good job, and keep up the work, and I thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for listening, Justin. Love you.
You're both beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
you.
Bye, honey. Take care of
welcome.
yourself.
Bye-bye.
And stay nice.
I will.
Bye, Justin. Oh, I love that caller. He was
That's
fantastic. Hopefully you guys heard. I put him on the mic. You guys over in the garden and on the TuneIn app. Hopefully you could hear that awesome call from Justin. I thought he asked a very valid question because I feel like a lot of guys, nice guys, go through
feel
that.
like that. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and for you women out there who are rejecting guys and saying that guys are too nice, realize that there is no such thing as too nice.
That's true.
Like, you deserve for someone to treat you well and to be where they say they're going to be, and that you don't have to chase after and to take you out on dates and want to pay for those dates. Like, you deserve that stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to, everything doesn't have to, and it shouldn't be a chase.
Challenge, yes, a chase and a challenge, and you don't know where he is and if he's dating other women and does he like me or not, or he ghosts every now and then. Like, who wants any of that stuff?
Especially once you get a certain age, if you've been out there and you dated, because with time you experience certain things, and like those type of things, once you get once you come to a certain level in your life, you really do not want to have to pull teeth to, like, it's just certain things that you don't want to do because you've already done all of that. Like, all of those things, I've already been there, I've already done that. So now within this stage, I don't want to have to go through that. I don't want to have to do that.
Right. And be trying to force you like you're my kid.
I ain't forcing
trying to get you to, like, when's the last time you took me out? Blah, blah, blah. You don't want any of that's what you get with bad boys. You get to be a parent. That's what you get to be.
I got 2 kids already. I don't have time.
Right? Exactly. But I have to say, I remember a stage of my life where I thought that was very attractive. Like, if they were like kind of hard to get, and I would have to like, put out a
because
little
you know what? So secretly, some of us we always want, but we cannot have.
Yes.
It's the challenge, and I think it's really the challenge. And then sometimes men and women go through that. Sometimes you fight to get something, and then once you get it, it's like, oh, I don't want it anymore.
Right.
So,
but don't you think that totally speaks to like deserve level, like understanding that you deserve to not have to do that. Like as a woman, you deserve to have somebody just love you for who you are and to be able to love somebody for who they are. We deserve that as human beings.
We do deserve it, but a lot of people, we do forget, and a lot of times we feel like I remember this brings a conversation that I had with my same friend, because we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And she asked me one day, she said, we would talk about like relationships and love and things of that nature. And I had expressed something to her about like love, and my adult life, I can honestly say I've never been in love.
Wow.
Like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, Toni.
It's okay. I
don't mean that like, it's bad. But that means it's coming. That means it's going to be epic.
Listen, like, you love people, but like to really be in love, like I've never had that experience. And then she told me, she was like, well, why is that? And I was like, I think it comes from me thinking, because when you go through things throughout life in different relationships, I felt like I cut that part of me off because I felt like they don't deserve, like no one deserves it. They're not good enough to get that part of me.
And it's scary.
It is. But then when I sat after that conversation, I sat back and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm only hurting myself because I'm depriving myself of allowing someone to return that to me. So
that's true. It's a hard thing though. I mean, I feel like that's probably more what you're talking about is more common than not. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people, we get to like, a certain age, and it's like, you look back and you're like, I've never really looked at someone and thought, I love you for who you are, and had that returned to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll tell you, as someone who was in love, and the relationship I was in was like almost 13 years long, and was deeply in love, the loss of that, and when that broke down, not having the tools that I have now, it was devastating. Because when you do, and that's why it's so scary to like give yourself over to someone in that way, and to feel like they've given over to you in that way, because then if it breaks down, even if it's because of death, it's like, it's devastating. You don't even know what to do with yourself. Wait, we got new people. D'Angelo says, hi, ladies. Hi, my
Hey.
boo. You would love D'Angelo. He's a makeup artist.
Yes. Hey, honey.
I see Glenn came in, and Miles, and Denise, and Joe Savino, our fearless leader of Armed Radio, is joined. And Rory and Lee Schultz. What's up, everybody? So today we are talking about, I'm here with my friend Toni Wiggins-Sorzano, and we are talking about crazy dating stories. And those of you who have just tuned in, we had a great call from Justin, who was asking about nice guys. Do nice guys finish last? You guys who are commenting on Facebook Live, feel free to chime in on what you think about that, especially if you were there for the call. And those of you who are listening on the TuneIn app and listening in the garden, feel free to call in 1-800-508-5431. And now we're going to get to the questions.
Okay.
Yay. All right. So we started out, did we do the what is your relationship theme yet? We were about to.
We was about to,
Okay, yes. So Toni is going to tell us what is her relationship theme.
Dead in the water.
Ooh!
Because it's dead right now.
Girl.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about that a little. What's the trajectory? What did we go from? Did we go from hot and heavy? Did we go from like, dating and having a good time? Did we come off of a relationship?
I came. I actually came out of a relationship that ended about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago. It wasn't really a great relationship at all. So I came out of that and just it was, and you know what, it wasn't a great relationship, but it was a great learning tool.
Okay.
Yes,
And then aren't they always though, especially the worst ones?
Yes. It was a great learning tool for me. So
yes,
I jumped straight out of a relationship, and I've just been in this place that I date, but I'm not seriously dating right now. And it's just like kind of like right now, currently, I'm not really interested in anyone that's pursuing me. So it's just like things are just there.
All right.
Like it's just
dead in the water. Yes. It's just floating along.
Yes, exactly.
I got that. I hear that. We all go through our phases, right? And sometimes I feel like it's okay to just let it lie.
Yeah, but I'm okay. I've never been the type of person that needed to be in something. Like I'm okay because I feel like, especially after relationships, no matter what the relationship is, it's good to take that time for yourself.
Yes.
To reflect on, whatever the situation is that you came out of, and just take a look at you too, because, for every relationship, no matter how it ends, regardless if you was the cause or that other person, everybody contributes something.
Yeah.
So, it's good to just take a step back to see what you contributed to that situation and how
you were responsible for.
Right. And just work on how to better yourself so that when the next situation comes along, you can, maybe do things a little differently.
Right. Right. I always ask that question, like, how often did I actually show my ass? Especially if I complain about somebody a lot. Like my last one, I used to complain about him a lot, but I really had to get very aware that I was not putting my best foot forward.
I knew I was not putting my best foot forward. I didn't even really try that much.
Yeah. I hear that. All right, next question. Let's see. Okay. So I had to ask this question because it's sort of like this thing, this whole I just learned something about waiting to have sex. I just learned a big lesson, and I will share it with you.
Okay.
But I want to ask you what you think, and this is from the Steve Harvey book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. I know, I hate that book. Hate it. What? And any mature woman hates that book. But what do you think about this whole 90-day rule? What do you think when it comes to the weight, the sexual weight, and what do you think about, just the whole... Because, there's a lot of cultural stuff behind that, like what it means to wait and, are you waiting to get someone to commit and all that stuff? Tell me what your thoughts are.
Honestly, I'm really at this point now, more so now than I have been before. I'm all about energy and vibes.
Mhm.
And so the whole like putting stipulations like I'm gonna wait until 90 days. I pretty much
Pregnant pause.
Yes. It's like, I mean, it's fine if you want to wait, but to just box it in this, okay, it's going to be 30 days, it's going to be 60 days, it's going to be 90 days. Like, I don't have a problem with waiting. Like, waiting, you should take your time, but I don't want to put like a time stamp on it.
Got it.
Like, it has to be this certain amount of time, because what if the 90 days come up, then what? And what if I'm just not ready?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or what if we hit the 45-day mark? And I feel like, you know, I'm digging them like that, like this vibe, this energy, I'm digging all of this, you know, so I don't like the whole timestamp thing. I don't really subscribe to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
See, I have to say that there up until somewhat recently, I would have said I absolutely 100% agree with that. And I still do agree with the idea of it being a time stamp, like like 90 days. What's Lee say? Lee on Facebook Live says, when it feels like the time is right, it is okay to end the wait. I like that, Lee. I think that's true. However, there's a lesson that I just recently learned. Josephino says 3 dates, that's it.
You know, a lot of people have those 3 dates though.
Yes.
A lot of people,
That's
a lot
true.
of men.
That is very true. And I recently encountered someone who I really, really liked, but because of my own, like I agree with you also about like how you use your singlehood and like, you know, it's a chance to like get to know yourself and all of that stuff. And so because of my last breakup, I'm like really like reveling in my singlehood, like luxuriating in it and enjoying it, right? So I was like sort of dating this guy. We went out on a few dates. And he was love bombing me, like just expensive dinners and, you know, just really treating me really sweet and doing all these nice things and, you know, wanting to be in touch with me all day long and, you know, just like bombing, which I love that stuff. So I didn't have a problem with that. Like I was really enjoying it, but I also was like, okay, I love it, but we still got to take it slow because I'm in this like singlehood growth thing. So anything that I get into, I want to take it really slow. Well, I realized, like in hindsight, that the love bombing was about getting a result.
Of course.
Always,
yes.
You think that's always? Am I naive? You think that's always?
Listen, and you know, like, and it made me think about what the caller said about people being, you know, when you first meet a person, and you just being your natural self, but everybody doesn't think that way. You know, so a lot of times when you first meet people, sometimes you meet their representative.
Yes, that is true.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, sometimes people portray this individual just to will you in and get what they want. And then once they get what they want and they get to that place, then you get to see the real you.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like all of that. But see, and you know, when I think about what I said, like I don't want a timestamp, but I do want to take my time to get to know a person.
Yeah.
To see, because you may start off one way, and if that's not real you over time, the real you will come out. But it's not. But for me, it's not like 60 days, 90 days, whatever. You just like, you know, you just gradually just take your time and just pay attention to certain things. Yeah. You know, but sometimes people they put their best foot forward to get what they want. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, the great thing about that is that was the big lesson that I learned. And I was so glad that I told him that I wanted to wait and take it slow, because then when the love bombing stopped, it was obvious that's what it was about.
Yes.
You know, and then I was like, and he got ghost. I mean, you know, and you know how they do. They'll get ghost and then every now and then try to like send out a little,
hey, like, you know, like I'm still here.
Yeah,
like don't forget me.
Let me try a little bit. Let's see what's up. You know, and that. But now I'm so clear that it's like, okay, I know what you're about. I know what it is you really want. And I'm just not there yet. If I ever get there, probably not with this one, but you know what I mean?
I get it.
So yeah, that's why I say all of that to say that's why I sort of changed my thing about the wait. I used to be like, well, Joe's like, the wait is over in 3. Like, I was like, okay, let's just go with the flow, whatever. But now I'm like, I agree, no timestamp, but I definitely feel like it's worthwhile to like.
To just take your time.
Take your time.
Like take your time, and if it feels right, then you know. if it feels right, then you can go with it. But I definitely do agree with taking your time.
Yes. Also, and that depends on what it is you want. Like it's okay if you are in a stage where all you want is casual sex.
Well, if all you want, then
do your thing,
it's
right?
not really too much of a weight when it comes to that. If casual sex is your thing,
right?
You just,
but if you really like in your heart of hearts, and you're not just pretending you want casual sex, like you're really in your heart of hearts want to have a relationship, yeah, I think there's something to be said for the weight. I'm sorry, Joe Savino, but 3 dates, honey.
You gotta get a little more than that,
right? If you want a relationship. We're just boning. That's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
And Lee Schultz says, so that's a take your time stamp. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He says, emotional connection is a must. I am a person who believes it can't be random and must be meaningful. So
that's all about the whole energy thing, because sometimes you might meet a person and you instantly connect.
Yeah.
Like that. Y'all really vibe well. And then you might meet somebody and it takes time, or you never really vibe like that, and you're just going out and it's like, oh, there's nothing there, we don't have anything here, we just and those kill a time, just kill them. Well, it's easy to walk away.
It's when you're all like, oh, I like him so much. And this dude, the one who was love bombing, I liked him a lot. Like I still like, I do I liked him a lot, but I was like, once I realized that's all it was about.
Yeah, it's a turn off. So
whatever. I see Pascal joined on Facebook. Hi, Pascal. Pascal's my friend from like way back since college days. All right, I can't believe how fast this goes. It's already 8:30.
Wow, really?
Like, yes, and we have to get through more of these questions. Okay, let me ask you this: what do you think about dating apps? The whole online dating and all of that.
You know what? Now more so, I'm kind of teetering with the idea of maybe trying it.
Yeah.
At first I was like, no, that's for widows. But now I'm kind of like, well, listen, because when you meet people and they try to talk to you, you don't know them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, it's the same thing. You just gotta, in any situation where you meet somebody, you got to be careful straight across the board. So I'm kind of a little bit more open to dating apps than I have been in the past. Before I was firmly like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But now, because I'm not really a person that goes out tremendously.
Yeah.
So because of that, you're gonna kind of meet this. If you frequent the same places, you meet the same types of people.
Yeah.
So I think it broadens
your field.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. But it's funny that you say that about because I feel like those of us who were old enough to date when the whole online dating thing first started, which I would say was like 16 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Like when the whole online dating thing started, it was a bunch of weirdos. And and I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I got catfished by a minor. So when I first started on the whole online dating thing, it was right after that really long relationship had ended, or like a couple years, whatever. I was getting over it and I was ready to date. So I decided I was on AOL Messenger, and there was a time when like chat rooms and stuff like that were big. Yes. And it was before there was even like the bottom of the barrel online dating. Like there wasn't Plenty of Fish and stuff like that. I can't even remember what was the first. I know eHarmony was one of the early ones, but that's, a very like
eHarmony,
structural Christian. Yeah. But I can't remember what was the first Black Planet, I remember, yes, which I was on for a minute too. That was some mess, let me tell you. But the chat rooms were really something. Like you just would meet anybody from anywhere, basically. And it was before people, and I'm dating myself, but it was before everybody had a smartphone. I think I had a Motorola flip phone Razr at that time.
Yes.
So,
still had the phone that plugged into the wall.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, people didn't have a whole lot of good pictures or whatever. So it would be easy to misrepresent yourself online. And so I started talking to this guy in a chat room, and we were hitting it off and talking about fun, silly stuff. I was in my early 30s, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I really like him, whatever. We were, and I think we might have both had a MySpace, and he had some pictures on a MySpace.
Yes.
We connected on MySpace, and, his pictures were kind of like not that great, but you could sort of see kind of angles of different. I was like, oh, he looks like he could be cute. And he told me in one of our many chats that he looked like Alex Rodriguez. Who don't want to go out with Alex Rodriguez, right?
God.
He also told me that he was like, 36 years old or whatever. And so we're chatting. We're having like some great vibes, and we make a date. Oh, Lordy. So he shows up at my apartment to pick me up for this date. I'm like over the moon, thrilled, so excited about this date.
You vibing.
I'm vibing. I'm thinking I'm talking to A-Rod. We have plans to go to dinner and a movie. It's going to be a big deal. Like, this is my first, real, good date since I dated other people, but it was random or whatever. Why do I open the door? And so he wasn't a minor. He probably was about 20 years old.
Oh, he's a baby.
Not only was he a baby, but he actually, how some, and I don't mean to make fun of his looks or anything like that, but he actually looked like a baby. Like he had he was kind of rotund and had a baby look to him, and he just was very round. Aww. And everything was nothing like he described. I have nothing against anyone being, heavy or anything like that. He just wasn't at all what I expected.
Like what he said he was.
He looked like a large baby, and he brought me roses and pajamas. That had Betty Boop on them. I don't know what the pajamas were for. Because I don't know if, in our chats, I might have mentioned liking pajamas. I don't know at some point. But he brought roses and pajamas. And you could tell he really wanted the date to go well. But I'm like, well, I was 33 years old.
What are you going to do with a 20-year-old?
What am I going to do with this dude? Yeah. Clearly, I don't know, if he borrowed his mom's car or whatever, how he got to my apartment.
Jesus Christ.
But I did, I felt bad enough that I did go to the movie with him.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Sweet.
We went to the movie. It probably was like Shrek or something. I don't know. Some kiddie movie. I don't know. But at the end of the movie, then he wanted to go to dinner. He wanted to hang out. He thought we were going to have a romantic time because that is what we talked about.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't.
Yeah, them young
I can't. It was so easy to catfish back then, though.
Yeah, now it's a little,
Yeah, I feel like because we have that image of, if you were old enough to date when dating online first started, it seems like it's such a creepy sort of prospect.
Yes.
But nowadays, I have to say, it's not that bad. There's a lot of good apps out there. There's a lot of good, and I even recommend with clients and stuff. It's really just about marketing and knowing how to set yourself up. Exactly. Sell yourself.
Like an interview. I mean, it's
right?
interviewing anyway, so.
Or just one thing I think people do, and what sort of scars the online dating thing, is a lot of people still think that they have to be on some level dishonest or use their representative, like you were talking about. And the key to having amazing online dating and really meeting people that, whether they become your love mate or at least they could at least become your friend, is just to be as authentic as possible. Yeah. Tell your real age. Don't misrepresent yourself. Have your pictures really be, you, not just you at some super tight angle where you look like you're about.
When what's your best side.
Yeah. I mean, you can do your good side and everything, but don't try to mislead people into thinking that you're 100 pounds lighter or any of that
this
stuff.
Extra filter when you over filter.
Exactly. And also just say what you're about. I'm looking for ultimately a committed relationship.
But you know what? It's like dating, and I only had one profile, and I had plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish or something.
They are savages up there.
They're sharks.
My emails was ringing off so bad, and this one guy, I had to read him to filth. Yeah. Because he just was to filth, girl. Yes, because he just came, and I guess because they're so used to interact, sometimes they interact with this one like that one they feel like they can interact with everybody in that way. And he came to me I can't remember exactly what he said, but he just was talking to me crazy. And I was
what? Was he instantly sexual? Was he
yes, I hate that. I really hate that. I can't stand it. That's a big pet peeve for me. I hate it. Yeah. But and I had to really read him the dirt, and then after that, I never got back up there again.
Yeah. It shied you away. Yeah. But I have a question. If anybody on Facebook Live wants to answer, if you want to call in 1-800-508-5431, guys who go on online or on dating apps or date online, if you're willing to admit that you've ever come on strong sexually, has it ever worked? If you are a guy who has a situation where you came on strong sexually, maybe sent a dick pic, maybe just came right out the box and was like, I mean, I've had guys send messages too where it's like, I want to lick your pussy, I want to lick, and it's like, hold up.
Well, my inboxes be dry as hell. I don't get none of that.
Really? I feel like sometimes they can be very forward. So I want to know, any of you guys out there who are willing to admit that you are that you come on strong sexually, has it ever instantly worked? Like, have you ever gotten a message back? And you can answer sometime between now and 9 o'clock. Have you ever gotten a message back that was like, okay, I'm game. Thanks for sending that dick pic. Let's go out. Like, has it ever actually?
I think it's working for some people because guys constantly do it. So I think probably forever.
So somebody
really, so probably for every 10 no's, they might get like 2 yeses.
Yeah.
Like, because there's got to be somebody out there that's saying yes.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Oh.
Listen.
All right, now here's a more serious question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the love and dating conversation that you have with your girls?
Oh,
And I pose this to all. Oh wait, Angela says, dating apps are cool. It's a great way to meet people you wouldn't normally meet. The wackos pretty much show you who they are very early on. I just moved to Colorado and have went out with quite a few interesting men. There are pervs out there too. You can block them so they can't. Yes, honey.
Yes.
You can block them so they can't send you messages.
Yes.
That is very true. Angela, hi, my honey. I'm glad that you're out there and active. Colorado's nice. There's a lot of like outdoorsy dudes.
Oh, go hiking.
Yes.
I am here for
get out in that fresh air.
Yes,
It's an aphrodisiac.
Yes. I am here for different things.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's a city life. Okay. So what's the love and dating conversation for your kids?
Well,
and single parents out there, you be listening.
I mean, because they're so young, 14, 14 and 8. So pretty much like with my 14-year-old, right now I just like, I ask her, do you like boys? And it's so crazy because we just had this conversation. I was like, do you like boys? She was like, oh no. I was like, would you tell me? Like, she's like, yeah, but just like because she's still so young, and I don't want that to be her focus right now. That I just take your time.
Yeah.
You don't have to concentrate on boys right now.
Right.
There's
Be
other
young.
things.
Just be
You're only
young.
14.
Yeah.
So, just enjoy being 14. You have so much time to think about boys and think about dating.
Yeah.
And you're not telling her, like, don't be kissing boys and dirty lip boys. I'm not saying all of that.
You tell her they have dirty
Yes. Doing stuff like that.
My mom used to always say, boys are gross.
Yes, they are.
She had us believing that for a while.
Yeah.
Right? For a little while, she had us believing.
Yeah, so, but it's not really too much right now because, like I said, they're young. They're young still, so.
Yeah. All right. I know, it's a big thing.
Oh, God. Yes.
And there's a lot of like single parents out there, especially that are around our age and have, had divorces and things like that. It's like, that's definitely something. Because also, too, I'm a big believer. I'm not a parent, so I don't give any sort of parenting advice or anything like that. But I do know that, from teaching and things like that, that youth will do what adults do, even when they are, whether they respect those adults or not. Like youth will take on the adult's energy that they're around.
Yes.
So I think that's an important thing, right? To just
yes, I definitely agree. And I just, I feel like when she gets of age for all of that, I want her to feel comfortable with talking to me because, I know like for me growing up, I wasn't always able to, talk to my mother about that kind of stuff. So I never want her to feel like she can't talk to me about anything, whatever feelings she's having or whatever she's doing or whatever. I want her to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's big. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. So any of you single parents out there, if you want to chime in on Facebook Live with what you say to your kids or what you think about this sort of thing. It's very important. It's definitely something to think about.
Yes.
Oh, here's a question. So now you said that you feel like you've never been in love, right?
Yes.
So then I don't know if this question pertains. It's, have you ever had your heart broken?
Well, I mean, okay. When I say I've never been in love in my adult life, but like in my, because I feel like there's levels.
Yeah.
You know, you have your teenagers and it's, you know, people are like, oh, you're young. You don't know about love. You haven't been in love. And I feel like, yes, you know, there's levels.
Yeah.
So, you know, in my teenage years, I've had love, and like my early 20s, I've had love. So yeah, I've had my heart broken. Yes, absolutely.
Where you have to make like a sad songs tape.
Yes, and you're just feeling like somebody just snatched your poor little heart out your chest.
Yes.
And you're just ready to just die because it hurts so bad.
Right?
And yes,
That's
yes. So
horrible.
but I've definitely had my heart broken. Absolutely.
I'm terrible. I feel like I'm one of those women that like back in the 1800s where women would die of heartbreak. Like I'm one of the, if I wasn't like a modern woman, I feel like there's only been one major heartbreak and then like, you know, one that was like close to it, you know, not so long ago. And I get devastated.
Really?
Yes. I think now that I'm older and have like developed some tools and things like that, I've learned some things that I don't attach it so much to who I am, like the heartbreak. Like I'm aware enough that I can say, you know, that if someone broke my heart or they left me or if it had to end for whatever reason, that it doesn't speak to who I am as a person.
Yes.
But that first one, I was like fetal in the bed for 3 months. If this would have been the 1800s, I probably would have died from that heartbreak. I'm telling you. And I've always been like a hyper romantic. Yeah.
See, I'm not like, I like romance. I secretly like romance. Like it's not like a lot of people don't know that, but secretly, but then I'm not really big on like, oh, like it takes, I guess because I have such a tough exterior, like just really like rough kind of. So, you know.
The protective shell.
Yes, that brick wall is all around. Yes. But yeah, so oh wow, I'm sorry. Well, I've never, you know, like I've even being young, like I hurt, cried a little. Then it was like, okay, girl, I gotta get back. Right? Yes.
Right. I also think that there's like, and for me, this is all in hindsight, is that, you know, that also came from, you know, residual stuff that was from my childhood, like whatever. I think a lot of times heartbreak can be even worse if you have any sort of like emotional abandonment issues or any of that stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make perfect sense.
Like I didn't know that at the time, but as I've grown and as I do more in personal development and stuff, I know that was from like an emotional thing that I already had about like being left. Not that I ever, like my parents both stayed together and all of that stuff. But I also think that you can experience abandonment even if a person's there, right? Like,
because if they're not available to you, you know, emotionally, because a person could be there in the physical, but emotionally they're unavailable. So of course, everything always. So then the heartbreak,
it all goes back to childhood, and heartbreak like opens the wounds and re-triggers it and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
What's Lee Schultz saying? Open and honest. I have a 19-year-old daughter in college, and we talk about everything honestly. I love that.
Yes, good. Yes, because regardless,
if
you don't talk about it, they're still gonna do it anyway. And it's good to make them feel comfortable because like I said, like growing up, especially I don't know if a lot of people watching have West Indian background. A lot of West Indian parents are not that open when you can talk to them about things like that. You know, so like my mother, she was one of those like, you know, you're not having sex, you this
just
and that.
Keep your legs
really,
closed.
just really like straight and strict, you know. And so I didn't have that type of relationship with her. Thank God I had an older brother and an older sister, especially my older brother. Beautiful. Yes, because we talked about everything. And you know, it was good to have a female and a male that you could talk to because you hear from the female side and you hear from the male side. You know, like the girls is soft and like, you know, and then the males is like, no,
that's how men think.
Right. So, you know, it was good, but you know, a lot of, you know, sometimes children don't have that. They just have their parents and you have to make them feel comfortable because they want to do whatever they want to do anyway.
Right. And you want them to be able to come to you.
Right.
So we have Vaughn. Vaughn Harris. Hi, Vaughn. Just joined on Facebook Live. And D'Angelo, he says, I'm the same way. I love deeply, and that's why I'm not casual with relationships and or sex. I hear that, honey.
Yes.
You're a heartbroken person like me. Like, yeah, we're romantics. My friend D'Angelo, we're like,
yeah, but when you love hard too, and that's another thing. When you love hard, you don't want to give, because it takes, when you're in, and it takes so much for you to pull yourself out of that.
So much. It's true. It's very true. I can't believe that we're already at 8:50. How did this show go by so fast? All right, let's see. What other all we have time for is questions and then our normal sign-offs, because I had all these crazy dating stories to tell from Reddit and all of that. We didn't even get you. That means you're gonna have to come back to me. Okay, that's fine. We'll work it out. All right. So here's a question: is there anything that you would go back and change in the story of your love life?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I love that. Yes. Like
yes. You
Tell
know,
us.
I feel like I could have been more giving of myself, you know, because a lot of times when you come across so hard, you know, that affects how another person reacts to you. Yeah. You know, and sometimes you can come across like you don't care, or this, that, and the third. And so, you know, I definitely do have regrets when it comes to that. Just being more transparent.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
But see, we get to grow from all that stuff, right?
We
It's
do.
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. So what would you say to women out there who are currently struggling with singlehood, who are not happy about it?
Oh my God. I feel like it's okay to be comfortable in that space. You know, you have to be comfortable with being by yourself before you can be comfortable with somebody else. You know, like you don't have to have something right then and there. And it's okay to take your time. We don't take our time enough. Absolutely. You know, just take your time. Eventually it will come. What's for you, it is going to come. Yeah. You know, so just take your time, you know, meet people, you know, it doesn't have to be anything, right? We like to romanticize a lot. Yeah. He's the one, you know. You know, like he's the one. No, don't do that. Just friends, and just take your time and let it flow, and eventually what's for you will come, ladies.
I love it. I love it. And you can also do my program, The Secret Art of Seductive Singlehood, which is all about what Toni's talking about, like taking your time, mind, body, and spirit, like, you know, being healthy, being in a healthy, happy place, developing a relationship with yourself.
Yeah, that's important.
Right?
You can't have a relationship with somebody else if you don't have a relationship with yourself.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. And it's all about peace, purpose, and partnership. So this has been wonderful. Wait, what did Lee say? Yes, I would have learned to be more open and honest emotionally as a young teenager. Yes, that goes back to the talking to parents, right? I think that's what Lee's referring to. We covered so much good stuff.
Yes, we did.
Right?
Yes.
I love it. And there's so much more. You're going to have to come back again. Okay. So tell us all the places, Toni, that we can find you. Before I'm going to give the 3 ways to make love and life sweeter. But before that, I want Toni to give all the different places we can find you. I also want you to be able to share where people can get your jewelry and accessories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And whatever else you want the people to know.
Okay, well, I do have an accessories line called Pierced NYC. So if you I'm on I have my own website. It's www.piercednyc.com. I'm also on Instagram under Pierced NYC. I also have a blog. It's a lifestyle blog. It's called Candidly Toni. It is www.candidlytoni.com. Also, thank you. Also, on Instagram, I'm also Candidly Toni as well. So check me out, guys.
And she has great recipes. She has like there's a rice recipe that's like, it's kind of like a paella, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like a little shrimp.
Little shrimp sausage. Yes, it's really good.
Right. Yes. And she talks about love and relationships and fashion. I love it. I think it's a great lifestyle blog.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So where are we at? We still got a little bit of time. The 3 ways to make your love and life sweeter this week. I want you guys to try out. Start a yoga practice. Right? Even if it's like super beginner and you're only doing it 5 minutes a day. That's what I have my clients do in my program. If you've never done yoga, yoga is a perfect metaphor. It's a perfect physical metaphor for transformation in your heart and in your mind. So start a yoga practice. There's free videos on YouTube. Yoga with Adrienne is a great one. Start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, build yourself up and just see where it takes you and be in discovery. Number 2, Ask someone for clarity. Think of a relationship that you are struggling to get over or or understand, and ask that person exactly what you're dying to know. Now, that's not to say don't be attached to the answer. Like that person, maybe they're not there, they might not be able to answer for you. But if you're walking around in a question, especially if it was a love relationship, or you're walking around feeling a certain way without having clarity about where that person is, then, it's like you can't just make assumptions. Just ask, see, they might share with you. You might know what's really going on.
That's good stuff.
Right?
Yes.
And then the third one is to make it a point to focus on something positive about your life each day. I know some people are really great with, right?
Yes.
I don't even I'm a big believer in like the gratitude list and focusing on positive things. And I was talking with my sister this week, and we were talking about that. Just, it's so easy in the culture we live in, the life we live in, to be thinking about all the things that we don't do well enough, all the things that didn't go right, all the things that, got fucked up that day, excuse my French. It's so easy to go into that conversation, but how often do we actually make it a point to say, you know what, I did a great job with this.
That's true.
I had a great conversation with my coworker. I have beautiful kids. The things that
build ourselves up.
Exactly.
We spend so much time tearing ourselves down, but not enough building ourselves up. I agree.
Exactly. Ourselves and other people. So that's the third thing to do to make love and life sweeter. What else do we want people to know? So we know where they can find you, Toni. CandidlyToni.com, PiercedNYC.com. Definitely go to PiercedNYC.com. You're charmed. I love those bracelets.
Thank you.
I'm poor right now, so I'm not buying a whole lot of jewelry. But trust me, when my jewelry, because I love things that are special like that. Go show your bracelet on the Facebook Live.
Nice.
Those of you who are listening on the TuneIn app, Toni has these gorgeous stones and puts charm. This is a pineapple charm.
Yes.
There's some. I thought you had one that had like a passport on it.
Oh, the passport, the airplane, the travel ones. I have one with
so
a postcard and a little bus.
Yeah, they're so cute, people.
Thank you.
PiercedNYC.com. You definitely have to go to. And let's see, what is the sign-off question for the week? The sign-off question is, what is the theme of my love life? You heard me ask Toni earlier. She said dead in the water.
Dead in the water, guys.
But now that she and I have had this conversation, we're going to change that.
Yes.
We're going to still be happy and single, but it don't have to be dead.
I know, right? Jesus,
We're
it just
gonna be
sounds
vibing, right?
just final.
Right?
I don't want my love life to be casket ready all the time.
Exactly. We're going to bring it back to life so it has verve, with or without a partner. We'll figure that out later. Right? So yes, the question of this week is, what is the theme of my love life? Now, during the week, feel free to come back and post on this Facebook Live with any questions, any comments that you have, and I will respond. You can also email me at askforcandypodcast@gmail.com, and I will definitely talk about whatever you email to me next week if you want. If you want to email me privately, you can do that. It's all private if you have questions and things like that. I always respond. And I think, what else? We still got another minute or two. We're getting close to the end, but oh, and those of you who are on Facebook Live who have participated and commented, thank you so much. And those of you who are on Instagram, we can't forget about the gram, honey.
Yes, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Right? I feel like the gram is going to be a new thing.
Yes.
Because Toni, you've turned me on to something here. I
And
like this duality.
You can get questions up here as well too, so that's also good. And when they do their questions, only you can see.
I love it. All right, so we only have 30 seconds. Until next time, never forget that you are a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you're not getting the love you need, just make more. And don't forget to ask for candy. Right? That's what we do. Now we're going to stick around a little bit longer with the people on Facebook Live, but pretty soon the people from the TuneIn app are going to leave us, and the people from the garden and Arm Radio. All right, bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for tuning in the garden. Thank you, Instagram. Bye, Instagram. Bye. Facebook Live. Thank you, all you guys who I see the Dire. I don't know if I ever say your name right, Dire or Dyra, whenever you join, but you'll have to let me know. Lee says, love, you're awesome. You're awesome too, my love. I'm so glad that you were here and like joined in on the conversation, and all of you on Facebook Live who joined in on the conversation. I love you so much. Angela, thank you too, honey. Stay in touch. I love you guys, and we'll see you next week. And Toni, you'll be back when? You're coming back soon.
Just let me know.
Right? All right. We're going to bring Toni back. I feel like she's going to be like a semi-regular guest on because we have lots to talk about.
All right.
All right. Yay. Bye now. Love you.
Oh, that was cool.